Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day.
It's not only a brand new day, it's even two new old champions and idle champions after forgotten realms in Festivals of Fools, starting in roughly 12 hours. It's going to be Beadle and Grimm. I'm your dystopian innkeeper. Hello everyone. Cheers, by the way. I'm going to talk you through the spotlights of Beadle and Grimm on the CNE website. I will link their spotlights in the description down below. So we're starting with their statement, CNE's statement. This month we're taking the previously single champion Beadle and Grimm and moving them to different seeds to create two separate champions. I really love the concept of having two characters as one champion in one slot. But okay, we'll see how that will turn out. Both champions have been reworked, allowing you to now field powered up versions of both Beadle and his buddy Grimm in your formation at the same time. There are some small housekeeping notes since this is such a unique rebalance. For example, existing skins will be separated and credited to both champions Beadle and Grimm once you unlock him. So you have to unlock Grimm because Beadle is already there and he's alone. Yeah, he's alone. Pull him. This better will join. Equipment and item levels on the former Beadle and Grimm champion will transfer to the new Beadle. Good? Most feats on Beadle and Grimm. Oh, more about the item levels later on. Most feats on Beadle and Grimm will transfer to Beadle, with the exception of Tavern Brawler and Grappler, which move to Grimm, which makes sense since it's Grimm who is the Grappler with his great swords. Yeah. Good. So we're going to start with Beadle. Beadle is the dwarven rogue / wizard. Do dwarven wizards exist? Tolkien would probably say no, but okay. Yeah, he's sitting on bench slot 8. That's Delina's slot. Blocking my Tatiana, my human bird, hedge rug. Pretty strong bench slot, but okay, we'll see. He is male, neutral, he's unaffiliated, and he has the support, gold, and control role. He's eligible for Strat and Elmo until 2028, and if Grimm is in the formation, he is also eligible for Mert, Vatra, and Sariel, so for all 5 patrons. Good. His basic attack is the magic wand. That's a melee / magic. Beadle bonks a random enemy with a wand. That's me. I like that. This unleashes 2 magic missiles that fly out and hit 2 other random enemies. So you're getting 1 melee attack and 2 magical attacks. Passive ability, inseparable. Beadle and Grimm are so inseparable that if either one qualifies for an adventure restriction based on attacks, ages, ability scores, etc., then both can be used. We know that from Virtual Encounter, for example. His formation abilities: Brothers in Arms. In Armors. Brothers in Armors. I totally butchered that pun. If Grimm is in the formation, all of Beadle's equipment item levels are increased by Grimm's base average item level, and by the way, vice versa. That's going to be interesting, I think. In the shadows, Beadle increases the damage of champions within 2 slots of himself by 400, increasing your DPS, and enemies that hit targets affected by this have a 20% chance to miss. So he's increasing your DPS and he's kind of protecting your tanks. Sticky Fingers, that's his gold find ability. Whenever Beadle attacks an enemy, he causes it to immediately drop 20% of the gold it would award on death. So it doesn't have to die, but mustn't die. The enemy then stops and checks its pockets. I like that. Stunning it for 2 seconds. I like that even more. This can only occur to each enemy 5 times, granting you then 100% of the gold it would have dropped on death. Share the glory. Menace positional. Hold on, that Sticky Fingers. Just realized that's going to be pretty interesting with armored enemies and bosses. Stunning a boss for 2 seconds, up to 5 times, that's 10 seconds stunning time. Sounds good. Share the glory. Most positional formation abilities that affect Beadle also affect Grimm if he is in formation. If Grimm is already affected by the same ability, Beadle instead increases the effect of In the Shadows by 800%. In the Shadows, that's the DPS increase and the chance of enemies not hitting your tanks. So if that 20% chance to miss would be increased by 800%, would mean that enemies will never hit. So I think it's just a DPS increase. Okay, I hope so. I mean, that would be probably, but I don't think so. Ultimate Tag Team. When Grimm uses his ultimate ability in the same party as Beadle, they have to be in the same party. Beadle's ultimate ability goes on cooldown and he gains 1 tag team stack. For each tag team stack that Beadle has, his ultimate cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds and his next ultimate attack deals 20% more damage, stacking multiplicatively. The tag team stacks cap at 10 and reset when Beadle uses his ultimate ability. Okay, I think I'll have to let that sink in. That's roughly the same concept of DM's ultimate ability, just in like reverse, I think. I'll have to see that live. His specializations. Epic equipment. The effect of In the Shadows is increased by 20% for each piece of epic or better equipment on champions in formation, stacking multiplicatively. So pairing Beadle with core and evergreen champions might be an interesting choice. Same with premium gear. The effect of In the Shadows is increased by 0.075% for every item level on your formation's champion's equipment, stacking multiplicatively. But each individual champion can contribute at most 1800 stacks. That's still good. Shiniest Loot. The effect of In the Shadows is now increased by 30% for each piece of shiny or golden equipment on champions in the formation, stacking multiplicatively. So it's probably, yeah, you have to do the math, I think, choosing between epic equipment, premium gear, and shiniest loot. Just pick the one that gives you the highest bonus. His ultimate ability is the Archon Strike. That's a magic ability. He teleports, Beadle teleports, and blasts all enemies with arcane magic, dealing ultimate damage and stunning them once again. I like that. The feats are pretty straightforward. There are some feats that are unlockable as an event reward. For example, Grimm's best friend increases the effect of Beadle's ultimate tag team ability by 80%. Or the Whisker Guild increases the damage of all champions by 40%, but dwarf in the party stacking additively. That could be interesting. We don't have many dwarves, I think. Not all too much. Not all too much. Good. So much for Beadle now. Grimm. Grimm will sit on seat 2 as Celeste's seat, blocking my precious Marilyn, Kriddle, Blueshy, Whittle. Well, bummer, but that's going to be okay, I think. So, Grimm is a DPS tanking and breaker champion who thrives alongside his best friend, Beadle. He is eligible for Murat, Ratra, Sariel, and Elmo until 2028 again. And if Beadle is in the formation, he's also eligible for Strahd. So all 5 patrons again. He's male, he's chaotic good, has an overwhelm of 25. That's okay. He's a human barbarian and he owns the roles of a DPS, a tanking, and a breaker champion. His basic attacks are the giant Spain. They are melee. He cleaves through the nearest enemy with his 2 enormous greatswords. That's pretty straightforward. Just cleaving and slashing through the nearest enemy. She is to that. Passive ability inseparable. Like virtual and Kent and virtual. One of them is in the formation. The other one can be used as well. Formation abilities. Brothers in armors now. If Beadle is in the formation, all of Grimm's equipment item levels are increased by Beadle's base average item level. So they both increase their item levels, the item levels of their body. Get buff. Each time Grimm attacks an enemy, his base attack cooldown is reduced by 0.2 seconds and he deals 20% more damage, stacking up to 25 times. Damage bonus, that's stacking up to 20% more damage, stacking up to 25 times, that's pretty good. Damage bonus stacks multiplicatively while the base attack cooldown stacks additively. Now that would be fast. 0.2 seconds stacking multiplicatively would be way too fast. Stacks reset upon changing areas unless moving right along is triggered. That's another formation ability coming up soon. Break the will. Each time Grimm attacks an enemy and breaks at least 1 armor or segmented health, he breaks 1 more on all subsequent attacks, stacking additively up to 5 times. That's a break-in. Stacks reset upon changing areas unless moving right along is triggered. And moving right along is If the party completes a new area within 15 seconds of entering it, Grimm's Get Buff and Break the Will stacks do not reset upon entering the next area. That somehow makes him a semi speed champion. Nah, not really. Well, kind of. I'll have to see that live. Barbarian's Protection. Grimm increases the health of all other champions by 25% of his max health, and any healing effect on those champions, that means all other champions, is increased by 25%. Then his ultimate tag team. When Beadle uses his ultimate ability in the same party as Grimm, once again they have to be in the same party for most of their tag team stuff to work. Grimm's ultimate ability goes on cooldown and he gains 1 tag team stack. For each tag team stack that Grimm has, his ultimate cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds, and his next ultimate attack deals 200% more damage, stacking multiplicatively. Tag team stacks cap at 10 and reset when Grimm uses his ultimate ability. His specializations. The Giant Hunter. He gains the Giant Hunter role and giants become Grimm's favorite foe. He deals a 10,000% more damage against his favorite foe, and all boss enemies also count as giants. Holy. For the purpose of all abilities that care about such things. So all bosses count as giants if Grimm is in formation. And he deals 10,000% more damage to all bosses. But he alone, not the entire formation. So not your main DPS deals a 10,000% more, only Grimm deals a 10,000% more damage. So good. The Giant Taunter. Grimm taunts all enemies he attacks, causing them to switch targets and attack him. Pardon. For each enemy that has attacked him in the current area, his damage is increased by 20%, stacking multiplicatively up to 100 times. Well, 100 times, 20% stacking multiplicatively 100 times. That's a lot. That's a lot. Giant Profits. That's his gold find roll. Grimm gains the gold find roll. Enemies that Grimm defeats drop a 50% additional gold for each enemy he has defeated in the current area. Ha. Stacking multiplicatively and capping at 20. That sounds better than it probably will turn out. He has to defeat enemies in order to gain some stacks of Giant Profits. And then he has to defeat those enemies. They must not be defeated by other champions in order to drop those 50% additional gold. Interesting. One-on-one, is his ultimate ability. That's a melee attack. Grimm attacks the enemy with the most health and knocks back other enemies in a small area. In non-boss areas, a frost giant spawns in revenge. Lovely. For his feat, they're pretty straightforward as well. Beadle's Partner in Crime, that's an epic event reward. He increases the effect of the ultimate tag team ability by 80%, and Muscle Club increases the damage of Grimm by 40% per barbarian in the formation, which might come in pretty handy with Wolfgar, seeing that giants are mostly a thing in Rime of the Frost Maiden, and Wolfgar is eligible for all Rime of the Frost Maiden adventures, unlocking all Companions of the Hall champions if you want. So that might come in handy as well. Good. Sitting on bench slot 2. Dang, that's a bummer. Be that as it may, Festival of Fools will start in roughly 12 hours. I hope to see you there, and I think you know how it is. In the meantime, as always, everyone, have fun, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day.